Well, hi, knitters. It's April 20th, 2016. My name is Susan B. Anderson, and I'm coming to you from the lovely, sunny, 60 degrees Madison, Wisconsin. It's a beautiful spring day, and I hope to get out there soon and just enjoy the beautiful, warm, sunshiny weather and maybe do some biking or walking or hiking or that kind of thing shortly. I don't have a huge amount to share with you today, but I have a few things I was gonna just chat with you about. I've been mainly doing some step out knitting and pattern writing for my upcoming Creative Bug classes. I leave in about 10 days for the lovely San Francisco. I think it's pretty much right in downtown San Francisco, the offices, and I'm really excited about that. I'm filming 3 classes, and step outs are just those kind of partially in progress projects that are worked up so that you can swap out as you are teaching the class while you're being filmed. So it's important to have some of those. So I've been working on that stuff, and day after tomorrow I'm going to be leaving for Minneapolis, and super excited about teaching again at the Yarn Over event that's put on by the Minneapolis Knitters Guild. And Meg Swanson is the keynote speaker, which is the Friday night dinner and keynote speaker event that goes on the Friday night, and there's just a one-day event. I'm going to be popping into the Stephen B's booth to sign some books at lunchtime there, and then I'll be coming home Saturday night. So it'll just be a really quick in and out in Minneapolis, and I'm really looking forward to it. So it's really a fun, energetic event. I like it. It's kind of just short and sweet, just the one-day event. So that's always fun. All right, so let's jump into things here that I have in front of me. And again, it's not a lot, but I thought I would just kind of share with you what I've been doing lately. This is a store-bought sweater, the shame of it, but I love it, and I wear it all the time. It's kind of this fun, open sweater that I purchased not too long ago. But anyway, so I know if somebody asks about it, that's what that is. Nothing too exciting. So the one thing I had that I finished in the last few days is this hat by Kate Davies. It's called Sheep Heid, and Heid is spelled H-E-I-D, sheep, in the sheep Heid, and I think it means Heid means head. And it's just this beautiful colorwork hat in the natural colors of the Jameson Spindrift yarn, which is a 2-ply woolen spun fingering weight yarn, and it really blossoms and fills in all those little spaces and things when you're doing color work. So I knit the entire hat on a US size 2 circular needle, and then I went on to double points when I got up here on the top when it got too small for my 16-inch circular needle. This hat I started probably 2 to 3 years ago. It sat in a bin, in a basket, along with all my Jameson yarn, and I was digging through that basket looking for colors. I want to do the Crofthus hat, which I was going to start, and then I found this hat, which was just probably into this first chart here, not even finished with the first chart. This hat is just 3 charts. That's the whole hat. That's what it is, which makes it really fun. It's probably like a 1-page pattern. It's so short and sweet. Really quite simple. And anyway, I ran across this hat, and I think the reason I stopped is because these colors are very similar, and they're all just the natural of the Jameson, the natural colors of the Jameson. It's like Mooskit, Uglit, Moorit, I can't remember all the other names, you know, the Shetland names for the wool, but on the chart, the squares are colored in, so it's not by symbols, it's by color. The shades on the key are so similar that it's really hard to decipher what color you're supposed to be using. And the color numbers I had didn't match up because this is made with the Jameson. The pattern is worked in the Jameson Supreme, and I had the Jameson Spindrift. So they had different color names. Anyway, it was very hard to figure out which color went where. And I'm not 100% sure I have the colors placed as they were supposed to be in the pattern, but it looks fantastic, so I'm not really worried about it. But anyway, it was kind of complicated, so that's why I stopped doing it. If you had the actual Jameson Supreme that the hat was knit in, it would probably be a little bit easier to figure out which color you're supposed to use. And I don't know if it was, I had the pattern printed out, and I didn't know if it was because I had trouble because of the ink or the way my pattern printed out. But anyway, I had a hard time with the colors. Not anything hard about the pattern at all. It's very straightforward, incredibly simple, but that's, I think, why I put it down. So that's my long story as to why I put the hat down. But I picked it up again. I thought before I start that Croft House hat, I'm going to go ahead and start this hat. And I wanted to finish it because I really love this hat. I've wanted it forever. So that's my long story there. So this is all these natural shades of the Jameson Spindrift. I added about 1 inch of length. So the original hat only has one repeat of this kind of rectangular chart thing right here, but I put in 2 of those, so I repeated it twice to add length. And then I also added in several rows of this kind of vertical line, 1 by 1, alternating color. It was only supposed to be 1 round, and I put in 4 rounds. So I added in a good, 1 inch or so of length because the hat runs a little bit short for me, and my very brutal, icy cold Wisconsin winters, I like to have a nice long hat that will cover my ears and my forehead. I wear, really low on my forehead just to keep warm. So the thing I love so much about the Jameson Spindrift yarn is that it's with the woolen spun. It just blossoms and blooms when you wash it and block it. I mean, I literally don't do anything to block it. I just kind of give it a stretch like this, and I lay it flat to dry. But it becomes so soft and just light as air and soft. It's just really the nicest feeling ever. I love it so much. I can't even explain how much I love it. I love it so much. So anyway, the hat, one thing I did that was kind of funny was that I decided for some weird reason to save all my ends. And actually I actually think I did save all the ends because I think I wove these ends in after I picked it up again. So I saved all the ends as I worked, I'd work several inches and then I would weave in the ends. I like to do that so I don't have it all left at the end, so it's not quite so overwhelming at the end. So I saved this big pile, so every time I wove in an end, I would just snip the end off and put it in the pile. And here are the ends. All the ends that I had. Where it got really kind of brutal was up here at the top because you're changing colors every couple rounds here. And so you just have so many ends. And my daughter and I separated all these ends out into little groups of 10 piles, and there were exactly 80 ends here. So it was 80 ends to weave in. So I don't mind weaving in ends at all. In fact, I kind of find it relaxing. It doesn't faze me or bother me at all. So, that's not any kind of problem with me. So but I found that interesting. I thought that was a lot of ends. So there's my little nest of ends, which is kind of funny. Yeah, so the top, so anyway, obviously you can see these sheep very clearly, but the one thing I think is really cool, let me see if I can find one to show you here, but this top part is a ram. So these are the horns, and then this is the ram's head there. So those kind of go, but I love the way it kind of flows into that motif. These are lines of the center double decreases, which are CDD as an abbreviation, and those are really fun to do. So you just kind of decrease doing these every other round, doing these center double decreases. Yeah, so it's really cute. So I'll try it on for you. I can show you the inside too, where I wove in all the ends. Go gosh, it's hard to see. So this is the section where I wove in all the ends. I wove in the ends before I blocked it. I usually do that. Some of the sheep, I didn't catch the kind of longer floats on all of them because I didn't want them to show through. That's really the main section where you had some kind of longer floats, but it looks really good. I love it. It fits great. I'm super glad I added the extra length. I'll try it on for you. So here it is. See how it's nice and long? It really is just the perfect size. I love it so much. And I don't know if you can, I don't know where I am in the camera, but maybe you can see the top there. It's just, oh, it's just beautiful. I love it. It just makes me so happy. I have a hard time even explaining it. The other hat I did of Kate's, which is really my go-to hat, almost the only hat I wear, is the Puri Fleurs hat by Kate Davies. She's literally one of my favorite designers. Also, the last podcast I did, I wore her owls sweater that I steeked and made into a cardigan. So she's genuinely someone you should keep your eye on if you enjoy this type of knitting. She also came out recently with her own yarn line, so you should check that out. It's katedaviesdesigns.com, and I'll link it when I post about it. All right, so some of the other things that I'm working on is that I finished, well, I have finished this quite. This is another one that I had put down and kind of picked up, but this beautiful sock out of the Knit Circus, matching gradient stripes, matching sock set is what it's called. And this is the Come What May colorway. And I picked this up and started working on it at a soccer game that I had to go to this weekend in the Wisconsin Dells area for my daughter. So I sat at a game and we drove up there. It's like 45 minutes or so from Madison. So I worked on that, but it's really fun. You get two 50-gram balls that look like this, and this one had the gray color, you know, to start with, and then it goes all the way into this bright pink. The trick of it is if you're using the cuff down pattern, this is just the How I Make My Socks pattern, that of course you want to try to get to, you know, the end color here, the pink. So that's always the tricky part. So this cuff is 8.5 inches. And as you can see on this one, I did get to that final really dark pinky pink color. And so I really don't like a cuff. That's pushing it for me. I really only like a cuff that's maybe 6 to 7 inches. So anywhere 5 to 7 inches is fine with me. So 8.5 it's getting really long, and I don't know. I just don't. That's all personal preference, but I don't usually like a cuff that's super long. But they're really pretty, and now I'm past the gusset here. I didn't do any trickery by pulling from another ball or anything. I just knit straight down, did the heel flap and turn, and the gusset, just, you know, all never breaking the strand. I just kept going with the same strand. So I have 8.5 inches on the cuff. And then, I mean, if you're doing this and you're curious about the length of the sock to make, so you get to all the colors, just for frame of reference, the foot length I worked to is 9.5 inches. So I did an 8.5 inch cuff and a 9.5 inch foot there. So if that helps anyone, try to figure that out. There you go on that. So those are really pretty. I'm working away on that. I think I'll bring it with me to good old Minneapolis this weekend and maybe work on that in the plane and whenever else I get a chance. I know it's going to be kind of a whirlwind trip, so it will go really fast. You know, the other thing I've been really working on is the other thing I am working on, before I move into that other thing I was just going to mention, is I have started a shawl. And I posted a picture of this a while ago, and what I'm doing is I'm taking 2 colorways of the Yowza, the Miss Babs Yowza yarn, and I am combining 2 kind of variegated colors. So I'm combining these 2, and you may wonder what the common thread is for these 2. I love this combination so much because this one's called Ansel. And it's just black and white and kind of shades of gray. And it really reminded me of a newspaper. And then I also had this one sitting in my stash, and this one is called Funny Papers. And so I thought, oh my gosh, I pretty much have to put these two together and make a shawl out of them. And I'm going to call the shawl the Sunday paper, because it's like the colored comics, or we used to call them funnies when I grew up. We didn't have much then. We didn't have all the entertainment. So I grew up in a family of 4 kids, and I used to sit and wait till everybody was done reading the funnies till I got them. So you had to be patient. You had to work hard to get your entertainment. So anyway, I'm combining these two, but I stopped, and I actually cut the yarn. I'm going to reattach it back in, but I came to kind of an impasse, and I was trying to figure something out, and anyway, it became kind of a mess, so I had to pull it out. But the shawl's gonna be really cute. It's gonna be striping and textury and fun. And I have these 2 giant skeins of Miss Babs in this really fun Fringe Supply Company field bag. So you can see it still kind of has the wrinkles in it. We haven't used it too much. So I like this one. I have this bag also in a cream, just the plain canvas, and she does have some colors out now too, so it's really sturdy, and I love it. I mainly just use it at home, especially when I hand wind my yarn. It's rolling around, being in a ball. So I like to have that bag around, and it holds a lot and has nice pockets too, which is really nice. Now, I'm making some step outs for one of my creative book classes coming up, and I was thinking about how I don't get ladders with my double pointed needles. And I have people ask me this all the time, and it's going to be kind of hard to show because I'm facing the camera, but I'll kind of stop as I go along. So I'm right here at this, where I'm going to go to my next needle here on this little project here. So what I do is I will go ahead and I'll knit the stitch, and I know that's going to be backwards for you. Here, I can kind of show it this way, but I knit the stitch, and then really I pull the yarn. But not only do I pull the yarn, but I really line up that needle underneath, like the new needle. I line it up right underneath the needle that I'm coming from, so that it's like parallel and it sits underneath. And then I tighten that, I give a really good tug, and I do all this very quickly. It's not like I even stop too much to do that. So I pull, and then I put my thumb right on that stitch. And then when I knit the next stitch, I have that so it doesn't slip at all. So I have my thumb right on that first stitch so it doesn't slip at all. And then it's just joined so tightly. It's like, if you can see that, it's like they're lined up right in order. So I don't know if that makes sense, but I was really thinking about ladders, and I just don't struggle with those at all when I'm knitting my double point. So now I'm just knitting quickly to get to the next join, and I'll show you how I do that one more time here. I hope you guys can maybe see that a little bit. So now I'm going to switch needles. The other thing I always do is I slide the needle to the stitches to the middle of my needle, and that really helps to balance, and I just do that automatically too. Now I'm turning, and I'm going to go ahead and knit that first stitch onto my new needle, but as I take it off, I really pull that tight, and I put my thumb right, I line the needle up right underneath. I pull tight, I put my thumb on the needle, and then I go ahead and I knit the next stitch with my thumb on that needle so that it stays right there. So there is no gap there at all. So if that kind of would help anybody, I hope it does, because I know getting ladders in your knitting, I get asked that just all the time because I do a lot of work with double pointed needles, so it comes up. I get a lot of questions about that all the time. All right, so I'm going to put that one down. Hopefully that will help someone along the way. Now I have 2 more things to talk about. So one of the classes I'm doing for Creative Bug, I'm going to be also posting up this pattern coming up, but I made some little wee sheep here. No, I shouldn't call them wee sheep because I already have a pattern called wee sheep. And then I teach a class called 3 wee sheep. So I think it gets a little bit confusing, but I have these sheep that I made and they're in Quince & Co. Chickadee. And it's a similar pattern that I released in, that was published in the Noro magazine several years ago, probably at least 3 years ago, but I've changed a lot of things about it. I've added some different stitch textures. So here's one of them. And this pattern will be coming out very soon. And then this one, I did a really fun loop stitch with the chickadee. It's knit all in one piece, and then the legs and the ears are picked up and knit on, so there's absolutely no seaming with it. They're about 4 inches long and maybe 3 inches high here, not including the legs. And then the last one I did is this color work sheep. So they're really cute, super fun. So that pattern will be coming out soon, and I hope you'll check that out. When it comes out, I'll make an announcement about that. It's probably a few weeks out still before I get that up, maybe 2 or 3 weeks. If not, maybe a little sooner. I don't know. But last thing I wanted to talk about is that I get to have a giveaway that will be really fun. I'm Annie Light. Annie, is it Lights or Annie Light on Instagram? But you may know her as Ann Valley of littleskein.com. She is little skein in the big woods. I never say skein. I don't know why I just said that. Little skein. One word I noticed that I pronounced wrong in the last podcast, and I knew right when I said it, I didn't say it right, was damask, the color. I said damask, and it's damask, and I don't know. I just felt like I should maybe correct that this time. But she's created this great fabric. She does some fabric design, and it says create, and it has really fun stuff on it, like knit stitches, a braid of roving, a sock, needles, tape measure, knitting needles, just fun little words, knit and purl, some spools of thread, and on the inside, I love her bags. They're so nicely made. On the inside is this really fun leaf motif that is really beautiful. The color is just this kind of really soft, pretty red, and I love just the kind of nice color she picked here. It's not quite so crazy of a bag. It's just really very, very sweet. It's a drawstring bag. It has a ribbon, and you can tell I hadn't closed mine up very much, and it has, of course, her beautiful tag. She also puts these cute rings on here. That's kind of, I love to use that for my detachable stitch markers. I put those on there all the time. So this kind of opens, and when I use these bags, I always just kind of cuff them at the top, and there's that. So what I'll do is I'll put up the blog post, and you can leave a comment over there on my blog at susanbanderson.blogspot.com, and I will draw a winner, probably not till next week, and when I get back from all my stuff, and then I will randomly select the winner using random.org, random number generator. Oh, here's her card. So thank you so much, Ann Valley, for the really fun giveaway opportunity. I appreciate it so much. And the other thing is that I want to announce that I'm going to be, when this goes up, I'm going to be having a big sale in my shop. I'm going to go ahead and do a sale on all the patterns and ebooks, everything in my shop, and I will have a code. And what I'll do is I'll determine all of that, and I'll put it up in the show notes and the blog posts that go along with this video, so you can check all that. I'll get that all settled later, but I think I'm going to do a big percentage off, so it should be a really big sale. I haven't had a pattern sale for a really long time, just like a general pattern sale. And I haven't been able to, been so busy with other stuff that I haven't been able to put up any new patterns really recently. So I have some things in the work, but it just hasn't come to fruition quite yet. So anyway, that's it for today. It's kind of short and sweet, but I just wanted to say hi and check in and kind of show off my my new hat. I'm so excited about. I hope you have a beautiful week. I hope it's getting nice and springy and warm where you are, if it's springtime where you live. And I will definitely talk to you soon. And good luck if you enter for the bag giveaway. All right. Bye, knitters.